Miami's going to be, when their roster's full, top 3 in the Eastern Conference, behind New York and Boston.
I can't say that. I can't just sit up here and dismiss the Detroit Pistons, who you rode all season long. Right. All season long. You were scared of the Detroit Pistons.
Yes.
Cade Cunningham is not going anywhere. The offseason has just gotten started. They're going to add to their roster as well. What the Heat gave up, we cannot sit up here on a Tuesday morning and act like this team is about to be all worldly.
May I make a correction? I apologize because I should have thought about the Pistons. Both of y'all are right. Top 4. That's what I'm thinking, okay? Detroit should be in there because Detroit was the number 1 seed, obviously. You know what? Detroit, Boston, New York. Not in that order. New York first. But New York, Detroit, Boston. You want to put those 3? That's fine. I'm saying that's it.
So we got Stephen A. Naismith. Our brother Stephen A. Naismith. He's saying that first he kind of said that he wasn't concerned about the Pistons and he put Miami over the Pistons after they did what they did. And guess what? The Pistons ain't made no moves as I'm making this video. In Miami, I don't see them as a threat. I like Atlanta over them. I like Toronto over them. I don't see Miami being a threat. Officially, the deal's supposed to go through July 6th so they can add a team or reroute some guys. Other video, we talked about Bobby Portis. The Pistons having interest in getting him to Detroit. There's rumors they still might have interest in Tyler Hero. So, you know, like Kendrick Perkins had to set him straight. Like, to be honest with you, you was dick riding the Pistons all last season. You was scared of them, you know, and then all of a sudden you talking about, oh, Miami better than, like, they got Giannis and Bam. They lost Hero. They're losing Powell. They got Andrew Wiggins. They talking about signing Chris Middleton. I mean, who else do they got? They got Jovic. If Jovic is ready to step up, I liked his draft tape. I like his draft tape a lot. Him being overseas. But Davion Mitchell, I like him a lot, but Jovic, if he ready to step on, they got Simone Fontecchini, former Piston. But other than that, Davion Mitchell is a good pit bull, but is he gonna develop as a guard? Wiggins, what has Wiggins been over there doing? He ain't no great shooter, from what I remember. He been over there in exile. So let's see what he been doing over there. So he shot 41% from 3 last year. Ain't bad. He shot 36 the year before. So yeah, Wiggins and they might be straight. If Wiggins, he averaging 15. Wiggins, Giannis, Bam, definitely a phenomenal front court. But Chris Middleton not gonna help you. They should try to bring back, Norman Powell. They should. They really should bring back Norman Powell, but they can't afford him. So, Jovic is more of a forward, so they got some depth there. They got a big fella that can come in, shoot it for like what's old buddy name for like Giannis. They got to find another big fella. They lost Khalil Ware. You got Fontecchini that can come behind. Wiggins can shoot, but the guard play. Mitchell a good defender. Mitchell got to take his game to the next level. Do you need guards behind Mitchell? You need a 2 guard. They talking about Klay Thompson, Chris Middleton. Like, what shit? And I see why they would want to move Bobby Portis, to be honest, because if you got Jovic and Simone Fontecchini, you really need Bobby Portis. You can parlay Bobby Portis into some wing help, to some guard help. You know what I'm saying? So, shit. They got to find guards. It's a guard league more now than ever. So Giannis is virtually going to be a point guard, and getting Klay and Chris. I'm not scared of them. I could be wrong, but I'm not scared of them. Boston, we don't know what's going to happen with Boston. JB can be traded, and, Tatum got injured coming off the Achilles coming. But trying to rush back so people won't call it Jaylen Brown team. I think it turned out completely different than what Boston thought it was going to turn out to be. I think they thought that they were going to be a bottom team, possibly in the lottery. Jaylen Brown couldn't carry the load. They stripped it. I think they didn't think it was going to work out this well. And and that's why Jaylen Brown was mad at the organization for setting them up for failure. So they wanted to kind of have a reason to say, okay, we can trade Jaylen Brown. And he didn't give him a reason. But if somebody want to find a reason to get rid of you, they gonna make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So Boston, and if they get rid of Jaylen Brown, I don't see them getting the compensation back to make them a championship caliber team. Jaylen Brown, the best player on that team, over Jason Tatum. People just say Jason Tatum. Like, what can Tatum do that Brown can't? You know what I'm saying? Like, we know Brown can carry the load. Can Jason Tatum carry the load? We'll see. The Knicks, they're the world champions, but we feel like we got their number. But honestly, I'm more concerned about Orlando than I'm more concerned about Miami right now. But they're an unfinished product. We're an unfinished product. But I think the three best teams is the Knicks, the Pistons, the Celtics. I think those are the best. I'm not worried about the Cavs neither. Older James Harden. Ooh, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got cheated out that series, so the Knicks can't go to the finals. Everybody that know the NBA know what they did to Detroit. But I'm gonna stand on that. But Stephen A, one minute he dick riding the Pistons, the other minute he hating on the Pistons. But in general, the Knicks can have their time. It was meant. It was written in the script for them to have their time. They did what they had to do against San Antonio. But do I see them being a repeat offenders or repeat champions? I can see it. I can see them winning another title, and with that window is now with them being most of their guys being in their prime. The second one is for validation. That second championship is for validation. And I would say this: they can't sit on their hands and sit on that roster. And what's gonna make it most difficult for them to actually repeat? It won't be the Pacers reintegrating into the East, which I don't know what that's gonna look like. It won't be Orlando, Atlanta finally, and Charlotte finally getting their feet wet and being contenders. It won't be nothing that Boston do, nothing that Detroit do. The number one thing is just them winning the championship in New York, the media capital, and how much that boosts your ego. They're gonna be doing interviews here. They're gonna be partying all summer. Motherfuckers gonna come back out of shape, At least they a veteran team. So I would look for them to get off to if they get off to a strong start next year, the Knicks, most likely they're gonna win the championship. If they get off to a shaky start, I expect that, and then round into shape around the All-Star break, I think they still I would say they are the favorites. They are the favorites so far. In the offseason they started to win a championship, but I we gotta see what the Pistons do. We gotta see what Miami add. We gotta see what a lot of these other teams do. San Antonio seemed to be standing pat. I wouldn't stand pat if I was San Antonio. I got all them pieces, man. And I can go out there and I would have added a Giannis. I flat out would have added Giannis. Gotta put Giannis with Victor Wembanyama, with Dylan Harper. Shit, I would have did that shit. Fuck that. Gave them my picks and kept it moving. If I was the Thunder, I would have did the same thing, but it is what it is. But yeah, everybody got their opinions, and we'll see what happens. But check out Detroit Pistons to our playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Find me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Appreciate the love and support. Hit the link in the description. Find me everywhere: X, Facebook, Instagram, wherever. Appreciate y'all for thumbs up the video, subscribing to the channel. People watch, but I ain't subscribed. Like, what's so hard about hitting the subscribe button? I just never understood that. I just look at you as a hater. If you watch my shit, you don't subscribe, you just a hater. Peace.